One back tuning into Stormwatch. We've got risk of some thunderstorms across parts of the country tonight. Certainly going to be some heavy rain for northern parts across Scotland and northern England. Quite how much we have further south is very uncertain. Actually, we've got some models predicting quite a big rainfall and possibly some thunder type conditions down in the southeast tonight, but the Eurofoot is not interested in this at all. So we'll have a look at the charts in a moment, but before I go on with that, I just want to mention the access links to articles on the pages that goes up as long as you can have a browser widget. You have to pay for the website. Thanks so much for doing that. So this is the situation that we've got on the go at the moment. We've got heavy rain here across Ireland. This is from a weather system, and you can see there's some bright echoes in there, so there's some really trench rain indeed through Ireland, heading up towards western parts of Scotland, also coming on to the western side of the UK. We have a lot of dry weather until we get to the southeast, where we have got some thunderstorms just clipping in across Kent. By the way, this is from the weatheroutlook.com, and you find a link to Weather Outlook on the links page. If I take the rain away and show you where the lightning is, you can see that we have got some flashes of lightning down across the very far southeast of the country, really cutting through Kent. And there's also some lightning heading in towards Ireland as well, and with that very heavy rain. So here is the synoptic pressure chart for this evening. This is the current situation, and it's really this area of low pressure out in west that's bringing the unsettled conditions. Also a little thundery heat blow being triggered by the intense heat that they've had across France today, and then a ridge slipping away up towards the northeast of the country. So it's been intensely hot across many parts of France there, and that heat is trying to get into the UK, but it's sort of being buffered by this area of low pressure. It's the contrast between the cooler air in the west and this hot air over France that is providing the energy for some rain, possibly some thunder as well. So this is the all-important rainfall forecast from the GFS model for 6 o'clock. So now when I'm doing the update, actually I'm doing it at 6:30. You can see it's picked out the heavy rain across Ireland very nicely. It's showing the risk of those thunderstorms down through the channel and into the far southeast. So far so good with what the GFS is predicting. Now as we go through to midnight, it shows the chance of some heavy thunderstorms here across parts of particularly the south and the East Midlands, East Anglia, and down into southeastern parts of England. This looks like a general mass of rain. I don't think it'll be anything like that. It'll be sort of scattered, thundery shower. But I have to emphasise, you're going to see it in a minute, the Euro4, which is the high-res model from the UK Met, is not going for this at all. In the meantime, that heavy and persistent rain is moving out of Ireland in towards the western part of Scotland. To the Cape chart, so we can see that there will be the risk of lightning and thunder if those showers get going, because we have got high rates of Cape and lifted index, so we're going into the yellow colours there, indicating there's definitely the chance of lightning and thunder down across the southeast. So by 6 o'clock in the morning, that area of thundery weather is clearing away from East Anglia in towards the North Sea. At the same time, that heavy rain from western Scotland is moving in across Scotland and northern parts of England. You get the idea that many parts of Wales, South West England, possibly the West Midlands, there's not going to be much going on. Probably with all of this. And then the rain across Scotland will clear away steadily through the course of the day, allowing cooler, fresher and windier air to come in. We've got tightly packed isobars here, indicating the chance of some gales, would you believe, summer gales for parts of Northern Ireland and northern England through the course of tomorrow. Now, Euro4, this is a high-res model from the UK Met, and this is from the website Weather Online. You find a link to Weather Online, same as weatheroutlook.com on the links page. This is the rainfall forecast for 6 o'clock this evening, so just after the time frame when I'm recording the video. There's the heavy rainfall, and it's got that right, quite obviously. And elsewhere, dry. It isn't showing the risk of thunderstorms down in the southeast. We know how we've got a few thunderstorms in the extreme southeast, so maybe already that model is just wobbling ever so slightly. Now, by midnight, at the same time when the GFS wants to have heavy showers and thunderstorms across East Anglia, South East England and the East Midlands, the Euro4 shows nothing really, just a little shower there across parts of East Anglia, but basically nothing doing down in the southeast at midnight, with heavy rain coming out of Northern Ireland in towards western parts of Scotland. 6 o'clock in the morning, that heavy rain then spreads in across Scotland and Northern England, giving a proper wet old start to the day on Friday. Again, nothing really doing down in the southeast in terms of those thunderstorms. And then by midday tomorrow, the heavy and persistent rain, which could contain some rumbles of thunder, is clearing away from northern and eastern parts of Scotland. There's the signs of those strong winds coming in from the west. So Euroforce suggests there's going to be a damp squib of the southeast. Nothing really going on, but GFS wants to develop things up towards midnight. And then this is a high resolution WRF model. This is from the website MeteoSeal, and you can find a link to MeteoSeal on the links page. So this is the rainfall forecast going up to where I'm doing the video now, 6 o'clock in the evening. So again, it's got the rain in across Ireland. It's suggesting a chance of a few showers across Wales, southwestern parts of England, and that perhaps is a little bit over the top already. As we go up to 7, 8, 9 o'clock, the time scale is just here, 10 o'clock. We can see we've got some very, very heavy rain coming in towards the south and southeast, really from the east of the Isle of Wight. Risk of some heavy rain and thunderstorms in there. And then that pushes northwards through many parts of southeast and getting to the south and the East Midlands by 1 o'clock in the morning. That's very intense rain there being signalled by the WRF model. Remember, Euroforce shows nothing at all at this time frame, but the WRF shows intense rain there across parts of the South and East Midlands and East Anglia, particularly. The red colours there, they're very unusual to see the red colours on this model. So intense thunderstorm being indicated there for the southeast with torrential rain. And that sort of rainfall rate, scale is along here. Those sort of rainfall rates would give us the risk of some localised flooding down in the southeast. And then into the early hours, that pushes northwards, so go up to 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's clearing away into the North Sea as that main area of rain from the west swings in across Scotland and northern England, eventually pushes out the way through the course of the morning. So it's a very, very difficult one to pin down this. I'm not entirely certain what's going to happen with this one. You'll remember that the last thundery spell that we had on Friday the 3rd of July, the Euroforce performed pretty poorly with that, quite dismally. Didn't go anywhere near close to getting the scale of the thunderstorms right on that night, and the GFS and the WRF model sort of came out better with that one. Conversely though, as we go back further than that into June, all of the models sort of overestimated the chance of thundery conditions on a thundery spell that had in June. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen tonight. It's one of those situations where you're going to have to do some nowcasting. I think really you're going to have to keep an eye on the radar and the lightning detector device from the weatheroutlook.com. Keep looking out of your window if you live in the southeast, and just see what happens. And it just goes to show that even in this modern day of all these supercomputers, sometimes, just sometimes, it does come down to a situation where you've got to look out the window, keep an eye on the radar, and just see what's going on. Basically, obviously, if the WRF is right, there will be some torrential thunderstorms down in the southeast. So it is noteworthy. If you're off out around 1 o'clock in the morning, you live somewhere in East Anglia, southeast England, do keep an eye on what weather is doing, because if that model is right, there's going to be some pretty dodgy conditions around in the early hours of the morning. But if Euroforce is right, nothing much will be happening. So let's wait and see what occurs. I'll be discussing it at the start of JMA Friday tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight, won't it? That's all for now. Thanks for watching.